The structure of the Form 1040 is something like this. First of all, here's a link in case you didn't download it from here. It has the identifying information on top. Then it has the sources of income, and don't worry, I'm going to show it to you. Then it has the adjustments to the income, and then it has the line, the famous line. You know, people talk about above the line. Above the line is a very important concept when you're dealing with people who don't want to itemize or can't itemize. They need to put as much above the line as they can as far as deductions and reductions of income. So this line is very important, and I'll show you how to get there. Below the line, we've got all the taxes, credits, and other taxes and so forth. And then we've got the payments. We've got whether or not they have a refund coming or the amount that they owe, which is a place that we're always looking at when we're doing tax returns. Then we have the infamous third-party designee and the jurats, and I will show you all of these things. What is a jurat? I mentioned that we have a jurat. Has anyone ever looked at the bottom of the tax return above the signature area over here? Anyone ever read the fine print? The fine print says, under penalties of perjury, I declare that I have examined the return and the accompanying schedules and statements, and to the best of my knowledge and belief, they are true, correct, and complete. Okay? Now, how many people come to you who've been to another preparer who made up all of that BS information on their tax returns to get them those amazingly fraudulent refunds, who say, well, I didn't know I didn't have a mortgage. I didn't know I didn't have 3 children. Please. Every time somebody signs a tax return, they are declaring that they have looked at it and that what they're saying is true. Now, there are people who look at this and they actually understand what this is, and they cross out bits and pieces of this declaration. Have you seen that? Where people like to cross this out. When they cross out any part of it, it is not a valid tax return. It is not considered filed. Tax protesters do that. And when they do that, this is not considered a valid tax return. So if you have clients that like to cross things out in the jurat, kick them the heck out of your office. You don't want to work with tax protester clients. They have a tendency to lie to you and get you into trouble. Now, the other thing that is over here on that same area with the jurat is the IP pin, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later. The identifying information, pretty straightforward, right? Even your regular software basically is laid out this way so you can see all of that stuff. Not a big deal. If somebody is filing a short year return, you need to put the information in here. Let's say somebody is single and dies and isn't going to be filing with a surviving spouse, and you need to file the return early because basically, you know, they died in the beginning of, say, 2018, and so you're not going to wait until 2019 to file the 2018 return. Technically, you should be doing it within 3 months after they died, kind of thing. Well, you may have to change the year if you have to do a return that ends early. Normally, you don't need to do that. Straightforward.